Yo, what's up? It's Miguel. Fucking morning bowl, doing some journaling, getting the day right after some sales calls taken this morning. What I want to come on here and talk about is why we got chickens and shit. Why all men in their early 20s should not only move out of your city, not only move out of your state, but I heavily suggest moving out of your own country. So, little context about me, quick one, not gonna run it too long as I stretch it out, is I am 22. I am from Jacksonville, Florida, USA. I started trying to do some online money shit since I was like 18, 19, mainly 19 years old is when I really started. 19, went to corporate sales, eventually got into remote corporate sales, so I got to experience work from home life, but I never took advantage of it. Did a lot of dumb shit, blew money, and I really didn't seize the opportunity as well as I should have, but learned a lot of stuff along that way, and I've been able to pivot into the like high ticket remote sales space. Worked in done a couple of different businesses, made $17K in a month as a closer, which is what I still do today. And so now I've just been being a closer, helping people also win those opportunities and doing the thing, bro. But all that being said, if you want to learn more about me, there's other shit on the channel. What I really wanted to get into today, with that context, is why moving out of your not city, but state, but country is ultimate play, especially if you were from America. So, reason I say that is long-winded, but we'll start with pillar one, which is just going to be from the lens of improving your money, muscle, mindset. Okay, it's the big three. As dudes, we all try to improve upon our early 20s. Now, it may not be so directly like, oh, I'm going to improve my money, muscle, mindset today, even though you should have some intention behind it, but it's more so we all want to go to the gym, get in better shape to attract more women. We all want to go make more money to be able to do cooler shit to get better women. And then we all want the right mindset to, one, like, feel fulfilled and feel proud of ourselves as a man, and not feel scathed in times of terror and error, and demand the respect from others, and then also to get more women. So it kind of all comes back to the same thing. If you saw a pattern there, which is another thing we'll get into later, is the dating side of things. But anyways, for me, I chose Bangkok, Thailand. I lived in Miami as well. I lived around South Florida a little bit, not too long, really 3-4 months in total down there between my couple different stays I had, little stints. And really not too much else outside of that, I'll be honest. I've tried out a few places here in Thailand, which I was very intentional about choosing here. I think everything I said was right, in theory about the place, but all that to say, don't know where I was going with that. But when it comes to money, muscle, mindset, if you're wanting to make more money, you're wanting to get more muscle and improve your mindset, a lot of that comes down to getting uncomfortable, okay? And what I mean by that is, like, all growth lies in that line of push, like, if you're not pushing yourself any facet to any capability, it doesn't necessarily have to be extremely painful to push yourself. It could be a little uncomfortable, though. You'll see massive spouts of growth. Now, obviously, the more you push in the gym, the bigger weights you're moving, stuff like that, the more growth you experience, of course. So, there is something to be said about the level of intensity of your push that contributes to growth. So that being said, when you can change the intensity so easily with something like moving out of the country while keeping your cost of living low so you can fuck up and make mistakes, put yourself in a good spot. So one of the reasons why teens, they go to, trust me, this is all gonna make sense, why teens, when they're our early 20s, we go to college, is for the controlled environment. Okay, and what does a controlled environment do? It's a room where you can make mistakes without much air, without much bad air. Like, if you fuck up, okay, you get your parents to bail you out, or the school will help you with this and that, whatever it may be. Okay, but if you fuck up like that in the real world, you have great consequences. Right now, what that makes you do is obviously develop and become more independent, be able to be more responsible, be able to deal with hardship, adversity, be able to solve problems. And at the end of the day, the biggest asset in your life is yourself. So if you're able to invest into yourself to get those traits of the person who is disciplined, responsible, can solve problems, and you put all of that into one person, which is yourself, at an early age, and you expose yourself to those situations, the people who had the more coddled environment, maybe they didn't slip up and go as far down as you. Maybe you're off your, like, you're a little brokey right now, you didn't have that much help, maybe you put yourself in some debt too, not that they are not, but if you didn't get the hottest start, even though you may not have gotten the hottest start, you were able to learn a lot more because you were able to get outside of that comfort zone and learn those intangibles that inherently make the asset more valuable, which is yourself. Okay, and if you're a more valuable asset, you're worth more in the marketplace, basically. Right. So, what I'm saying with all this is getting outside of your country removes that safety net, removes being able to fall back to safety and getting that help. Now, it's simultaneously cheaper though, and has low cost of living in a lot of these places. So you get to learn those mistakes and solve those problems independently, but you kind of have a money glitch at the same time. And what I mean by that is currency arbitrage when it comes to developing like your mindset side of things here. When it comes to the overall improvement of money muscle mindset, just growing yourself as a dude at the end of the day. If you can still learn those intangibles, but without necessarily sacrificing yourself financially too much or playing too much with financial risk, that's passive. Okay, there's still some financial risk, of course, with this stuff. It's not completely sweet and easy, and you need to have a skill, which will be the next thing. But overall, not a bad spot to be in. When you can have 1/3 of the cost to get the same quality of life, if not better. So, next up would be on the muscle side of things. The food in Thailand, which is where I'm at, versus USA, it's night and day difference as far as quality goes, as far as cost goes. So if you're big into the gym and fitness, I definitely recommend Thailand. I think might be the best place to be at, especially if you're enhanced, taking tests, whatever it is. It's definitely number one. Off cycle right now, I'm cruising, so I might look a little small, but we'll be back on soon. But no, seriously, even if you're just trying to work more, I just think having higher tests is massive. Alright, to pause it and restart it. There was a bunch of fucking, like in Thailand, there's like trucks and they'll just like blast out political shit. It's like fucking hilarious. Anyways, so as far as muscles go, like if you want to be in a high test environment, which obviously contributes to all of the things, is just becoming better with all the manly things you gotta do. But the sun, being able to relax, be out at the beach, all that shit helps. Then the cheap supplements, cheap food to make sure your test is high, amazing. You can get blood work done, and if you want to go the enhanced route, that's even easier for you. So on the muscle side of things, somewhere like Thailand's massive. A bunch of places in Asia. I mean, you can do Bali, Indonesia. It's a great community there. Health, fitness oriented. Bunch of different places over Latin America as well. I mean, choose your bet. It's all cheaper and more cost effective on the health side, which if once again you're the biggest asset and you're more healthy, you're going to be more successful, or just enjoy your life more. For me, what I care about is being in really good shape, being healthy, being functional, simultaneously having money, being able to have freedom is number one, right, and having good people around me. So it's like all that can be a lot easier when I'm healthy and in good shape. So anyways, going from there to the money side of things. Not going to sit on this too much, but if you have more, just think about it, right? Like one of the things that limits people when they're trying to come up is they want to live the lifestyle, but they can't afford it. All right? So what if you could maintain your dream lifestyle with a low amount of money, meaning that you could save up more money to reinvest into yourself and develop? It might sound like a retard saying this, but here, I'm living in a cheap little beach town right now. I'll be back in Patsiao's I stayed in Bangkok for like 5-6 months. It's pretty nice, like high rises if you check my channel. Now I'm on a completely different vibe right now. Anyways, I'm spending like, bro, here I could spend 1.5K a month. Now, that's extremely low. I would anticipate 1.5 to 2K is like what you can get away with. If you're staying in Thailand, I also have a girlfriend, so I kind of pay for all of us, for all of our shit. She just does like, right now she's doing admin work for me and helping me out around the house, another thing we'll get into in a moment. But coming back to the money, if you could live your dream, maybe it's 6K to live a really good lifestyle, like in America, you could do that same for 1.5 to 2K. You have that same exact experience. So one thing I have, for example, is my condo I'm in right now is $280 a month, which is going very well for me. All right, very relaxed, very chill environment. We got pretty decent sized balcony thing, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's not too bad. I can still get what I need to get done, but it's a little too middle of nowhere for me. So I'm going to the city. Fair, keep in mind. But even in the city, I'm going to like get very good apartments, very good 1-bedroom condos, like all the amenities you would want. Good enough space to have like a workstation, bed, full kitchenette with a balcony, and a clean, safe area for like $500 a month. Get super luxurious if you spend over $1,000. So that being said, it's like, why wouldn't I do that and have that play in my favor? $500 a month back where I'm from. You'd probably have a roommate, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but like the quality difference there, like, come on. And this is just in combination with all the other things I spoke about, right? So that's just from the hustle living saving perspective there, but it's just like with that money in mind is, since the society around you isn't so like materialistic, inherently you become less, which means you don't care to show off and flex as much. Like, I used to want to be like Lamborghini was like on my mind all day. That's what I wanted. And now it's like, I still want to experience it for sure. Don't get me wrong, I think it's an experience, but it's not all I need, all I want, and all I care for. So, definitely noticed that change, at least myself. That maybe that's just a me thing, but I've talked to other people. You kind of come out here and you start caring about other things, like my health, like building something that I really care about. Wanting to give back to others, being helpful, being kind. Like all that stuff is a priority. But yeah, talked about money just now, being able to grind, have the same cost, same savings there, but with a way better lifestyle. And then we talked about muscle, so testosterone, health and focused environment, the food. We talked about mindset, how it gets you uncomfortable and allows you to grow. So last thing I'll touch on here is women. I'll make separate videos on this in the future, but as far as dating goes, absolutely night and day. I'll throw up something of my girlfriend on screen here, and she's absolutely a stunner, right? And trust me, I've had my fair experience as a woman. I've dated some amazing girls back in the United States. I'm not gonna sit here and act like all USA women are trash. I joke about it, but there are good girls out there. I've been lucky enough to experience some of them, and I can still say it's night and day difference. Like, I've been with quite a few women out here. I won't lie, a good bit. Some serious or more serious than others, but very shy. My girlfriend's crazy. Like, she's awesome. Like I said, she does help me with my admin work. Basically everything I would want. Like, very respectful, responsive. I know the word feminine gets thrown around like a motherfucker, but it does for a reason, bro. It's very much so. I will say the Thai girls can be a little spicy, okay? Like kind of Latina-esque if you think about the stereotypical Latina there, but not all of them. My girl is baddie though. She's a little baddie Latina acting bitch, but she's fire. She's fire. I love her. So yeah. That being said, if you're wanting to improve your dating life and you want a confidence boost, come out here. I would say majority of people would become a fan of Asians out here real quick if they made it. But it's like you can date other races too. It's not about all just Asians. Like, there are other girls who are good out here. Like, if you like African black women, you got some of that, Nigerian shorties. And then if you want some white flavor. There's a bunch of European travelers who come through here. So there's that too. But anyways, that's all for today's video. Just wanted to talk about some money muscle mindset, coming out of Thailand. But we'll be dropping more Thailand-centric talking head focused videos. Also, we'll be dropping some super sauce here soon when it comes to landing sales roles, being able to move out here to Thailand and make your first 5-10K a month online, which has been obviously the focus of the content. So if that's something you want to learn how to do, so that way you come out here yourself, I have free shit on that all in the channel that you could literally implement and be out here in the next 60-90 days if you wanted. So that being said, appreciate y'all watching. Holla.